Hi guys, so in this short video I'm going to try and talk about 4 things that really helped me do better in the exam, which I feel pushed my score a little higher even though the preparation was average. So if any of you are right now with an average preparation, standing with an average rank, I think this can really help you guys a little more. So the first thing I'd like to address is the biggest question looming on everyone's mind right now, and that is how many questions should I attempt? So I personally and strongly believe it's important to be attempt as many questions as we can, and I would say 200 on 200 is perfect. But if you want to leave a few questions, don't make sure it's not less than 190. So attempt somewhere between 190 to 200 questions. I think this year the exam is for 200 questions, so attempt anywhere between 190 to 200 questions. Remember, the exam has a +4 -1 pattern, so it's worth taking the risk. So give it a shot. Even if you can rule out one option, give it a shot. I would say even if you can't rule out any options, try your luck. But if you can rule out one option, make sure you for sure give a shot on that question. So try your luck, attempt as much as you can, because the benefit is far higher than the risk. So attempt as much as you can, the first tip. The second tip that I'd like to give, this is not a hard and fast rule, but good to know, is if it looks too obvious, if the answer looks too obvious, it's unlikely to be the answer. But again, this varies. This is not a hard and fast rule, but just keep it in mind that if it's too obvious, if it looks like you just found the answer from the question, look into the other options and see if they would fit in. If not, you can go for this. So if it looks too obvious, just be careful. The third thing, again very important, a lot of people end up missing out on, is look for the nots and the excepts. And if you see an except in a question, keep it in mind, except while reading the option. So keep the word except or keep the word not in mind while reading the options, so that you know what you're looking for. Sometimes you can get lost in the question. So look out for the words not and except in the question. The fourth thing, again super important, is that make sure you read all 4 options before answering. So even if the first or the second option looks to be obviously the answer, don't go ahead and tick it before reading option C and D. So A might look very obvious, or A might look like the answer, but probably the answer is B, C or D. So go through all options before choosing an option. Even if you think it's obvious, it's always good to go through all options before marking the answer. The fifth bonus point I can give you, something I spoke about in the previous video, is that if you're narrowed down to 2 options, and in most questions we do end up narrowing down to 2 options, think about the option that you know more. So if you narrow down to C and D, whether each of them would be a topic. For example, C may be vitamin B2 and D may be vitamin B6. So suppose you know a little more about B2. So think about option C, which is B2, and try to fit it into the question. So usually the question is a clinical scenario. So try to fit in everything you know about that option into the question. So if you can somehow in some twisted way fit it in, then go for that. If it seems like you can't fit it in at all, then go for the option you know less about. So to simplify it, if you're narrowed down to 2 options and you know something about one option, or you know more about one option than the other, focus on the option you know about, think as much as you can about it, try to fit it into the question, and if it doesn't work out, then go for the other options. And in most cases we do end up narrowing down to 2 options. So these are actually 5 points. The 5th one was just a bonus point. So yeah, 5 points that I feel can really help you. So if anything is important in this video, remember that you have to attempt as much as you can. This is something that people shy away from. So attempt as much as you can, especially if this is the first time you're giving NEET, if it's post internship, please go out there, try your luck, attempt as much as you can, go for 200 on 200. Make sure you look at all 4 options before answering, and look out for the nots and the excepts in the question. All the best, do well, thank you. Hope you guys do great, and yeah, that's it.